Welcome to the American Dream. I'm your host, Shannon Pansmith. Today, we're here in Hudson, Ohio at the shops and Evaporator Works to meet with two local business owners. Let's get started. So thanks so much for having us here. It's great. This is almost like the Cheers of Hudson.
It is.
I've already seen about 15 people I know, which I absolutely love. So what made you want to bring this to Hudson?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I worked in the trades for a while. I was a plumber, and not a natural transition from plumber to coffee shop, but I worked in a lot of the houses in this area, and I got to know a lot of people, and it was just like, what I loved about Hudson is that people were very well traveled, and the kind of coffee that we do and the kind of pastry that we do, you just don't see that level of quality, at least in this area, but a lot of people would travel and go to places where there was that, they'd come home and it didn't exist. And so it was just like, wow, this what we're trying to do is perfect for what I guess the people's needs are of this town.
I agree. And what sets your coffee apart from other local shops?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. Like, we probably spend more time tasting, sampling, bringing coffees in from all across the world than anybody else does, I would say, at least in the state of Ohio. It's just intricate. We have a guy, his name is Nick, who's in the roastery, and he develops relationships with importers who have relationships with farmers, and we just have a knack for getting the best of the best. And so, like, we might sample 100 coffees and buy 5 of them.
Wow.
And so I just think, being super intentional, caring about where coffee comes from, learning about what is a good quality, what tastes great, and then only bringing kind of the best of the best in.
And that's probably why you have such a successing business. I mean, people talk about this place all the time, and we always love coming here.
Yeah, and I just don't want people to ever sacrifice, having a bad coffee experience because it's a good environment, or having like a great environment, or having a really good coffee experience, but a bad environment. I love the idea that like our staff is super friendly, and it's a comfortable place to be. You can work, you can meet with friends, and it's just like a full package.
I totally agree. And recently you opened up next door a place called Good Grief. Tell us a little bit about that.
That is when business owners think that they can do anything. Good Grief was just like, I used to do a lot of deliveries, and like, where do you go to get breakfast that's not fast food, that's not a sit-down restaurant? And so like, we really wanted to develop something that was like a super hearty, really well prepared, well thought out menu, but we could get you in and out in 10 minutes, and stuff like that. So it's just for somebody who doesn't want, fast food, doesn't want to cook at home, but they also value their time a lot. Breakfast burritos, breakfast sandwiches, we do some barbecue stuff in the afternoon, salads and things like that. We've got vegan and gluten-free options, and it's attached to Heartwood, so there's already a flow of people here, and I think it just works.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for talking with us. It's awesome. Thanks so much. Now we're going to walk over to Hudson Plant Co. to meet with the owner, Mel Frontino, and do a special project that I'm really excited about. So Mel, thank you so much for meeting with us today. Tell me what we're up to.
So we are going to create a succulent arrangement just like we would at one of our workshops here at the shop.
Love.
So the first step is you're going to take a little bit of dirt here and get that filled up, our pot on the right.
Love.
Maybe like 3 or 4 scoops. There you go. Great. So now you're going to take, you're going to squeeze a little bit around the bottom of the plant, kind of loosen it up, and there you go. And set it right on in there.
So what inspired you to bring a plant shop to Hudson?
Well, actually, I grew up in Hudson, so I was really passionate about bringing a concept here and having a small business here in the town that I grew up in. I love the community so much. And I have a similar business in Austin, Texas, so I thought, this is my wheelhouse a little bit, so I wanted to bring the concept here to enjoy.
That's great. And so tell me about the workshops that you do for your customers.
Yeah, so we do a handful of workshops. So we do things like centerpiece arranging with flowers, planting classes like you're doing here. We do all sorts of private experiences, so you can hire us to come to your home or work. We do birthday parties for children all the way up to adults. Even holiday, we do wreath making, all sorts of things.
That sounds so much fun. It's such a great concept. Now, I'm not fantastic with plants, and I know a lot of people are new to it or want to get into it. Now, how would you take care of something like this?
So actually, succulents are super easy. They're going to be one of the easiest ones to take care of.
Great.
You're just going to water this, maybe a tablespoon next to each plant once a month.
Oh, wow. That's
You want to make sure it gets a good amount of sun, and you're good to go.
And they turn out wonderfully, obviously.
Product.
Finished product. Mine's not looking too bad.
No, you're doing a great job.
Which I really love.
Yeah, great job.
Which is great. And what's your favorite plant?
Oh, that's such a hard question, but I would say I really like things that are climbers, so things like monsteras or philodendrons. They take a lot of movement and they do a lot of cool things with their leaves.
That's great. And one of the things I do love is that you can come in and special order a plant or look for something that you feel like fits your level of planting.
Yes, we have a lot of plants that are good for beginners. We like to make sure that everybody would feel comfortable with the plant. And a cool thing about our shop too is you can come in, pick the pot you like, and then pair it with a plant that you like. So you're not committed, you can kind of choose your own adventure.
Which I love. Well, thank you so much. This was great.
Great job.
Thanks. There's so much to see and do here in my hometown of Hudson, Ohio. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of The American Dream.